The idea of Spark really came when we began to work with the design team. That's the fantastic thing about working with great designers like the guys we had, where they can take a very sort of broad strategic view of what an organisation wants to be and really bring it to life. One of the workshops we did with the designers was one where they sort of played through a series of different mood boards that showed potential interpretations of what I'd been seeing and what we'd been thinking ourselves. And the idea of sparks or catalyst or something that really sort of ignites something or gets something going, I think was one of the things that we all, as soon as we saw it, we knew that there was something really sort of true about that. And so I think that's been part of the magic that those guys have brought to the process.
One of the things that's nice about a name like Culture Sparks is it feels like it's part of a sentence, and it's the other bits of the sentence, I suppose, that have the meaning. Culture sparks thinking, culture sparks debate, culture sparks discussion, culture sparks confidence. There's lots of other things it can do. So I think in that way it's a really nice shift.
Everything opens up something else. Every time an audience member or an artist engages with a piece of work, that it leads to another ripple somewhere else that goes beyond what you're able to do yourself, and that's what Culture Sparks makes me think of.
I saw Avatar at the weekend, and that thing where they put the plait into the synapse and it kind of creates all the links up. That's what Culture Sparks kind of evokes for me.
Culture Sparks invokes something that acts as a catalyst to new forms of partnerships, new forms of engagement, a certain kind of creative energy.
Hundreds of wee fireworks firing off with ideas and different artists and different audiences kind of communicating and crossing over, which is, I suppose, how I like to think about things.
I think it feels like it's something very exciting and very everything about possibility.
Culture sparks something. So it's almost like Culture Sparks is the beginning of something.
Culture Sparks is the intelligence and innovation partnership for the cultural sector. We want to harness the collective intelligence we've got to shape the debate about the role of the art in people's lives. So we might have published data before. Now we're going to use that data to stimulate debates, discussion groups, and more publications to engage a much higher level of stakeholder.
I was wondering if that was almost the future of the collaboration, that you give the audience a little bit more freedom.
We are going to use the intelligence we've got to demonstrate the social and economic impact of what you do. So you can make those comparisons and lobby for increased investment in the arts and sustaining your relationship with the audiences. We're going to make sure that we gather and share information using our tools of social media, gathering best practice from all over the world, not just from in Scotland. So we'll be telling your stories, and we'll be telling you other people's stories about what works.
The government really need to hear about why audiences value the work that we do, and I think sometimes that discussion has become slightly distorted, and the governments and other funders have done it through economic or social. But I think what the government needs to hear is when people visit and they engage with the work, is actually how much they value that very personally.
I don't think we can refresh and regenerate audiences for the existing arts without finding new avenues to draw audiences. And those avenues then need, kind of support, really, investment, whether it's from the kind of established arts council sort of structures or other local authority structures.
We're going to promote a much wider range of opportunities for learning and development. So we're going to pick off areas where we know that you're looking for a much more concentrated level of skills, rather than a kind of general, let's do some audience development type work. We're going to focus on the skills of social media and the tools to help disseminate that. And then we're going to bring more people together. We're going to build a much wider group across sector. So instead of talking just to ourselves, we're going to make sure that we bring wider groups of people together to talk about how you can create new forms of art and repackage and re-promote existing art to more people. The website will be the place, the portal, the gateway where you can access examples of best practice. You can hear other people's stories. You can download tools. You can sign up to become part of the network and be visibly part of the network, not just part of the marketing network, but part of the network of people who are now changing the way that you promote and create art to attract more people. There'll be video and online cases and a news feed of the key trends in the marketplace. We'll be gathering that information so you don't have to. Okay, so what's Culture Sparks about that Glasgow Grows Audiences wasn't about? It's about a focus on intelligence and innovation. And it's about gathering intelligence, and intelligence from a much wider spectrum of the creative industries about how people engage with the arts. It's about how you use that intelligence at any point in your organisation in terms of stimulating new ideas, new programme developments, or new ways of capturing and engaging people. And then more importantly, it's about sharing those stories so that you can learn from other people. So it's the high octane intelligence about the audiences that you need.
I think the future is really bright for Culture Sparks. I think that where they're at is exactly the right place for the community, exactly the right place for the arts and culture industry.
If Culture Sparks is going to put together a network of people who can learn from each other, who can learn from people outside the network, and who have the opportunity to talk, but talk purposefully, as opposed to talking just because you're brought together in a network forum, then I think the network will be hugely successful and very valuable for its members.